What is going on, everybody? This is the Honest Texan podcast. Welcome back for another episode of your, daily news reading or weekly news reading, whatever you want to call it. It's just me reading the news and giving my opinion out. So, that's all it is. I'm just a regular guy. I'm a journalist. I got feelings and all that. But this is the news. I am passionate about it. I live and breathe the news. So, with that said, one of the topics that I'm going to get into today is a sensitive topic, a very sensitive topic, is the Uvalde shooting. I have not really wanted to get into this, but I think I should now. I just wanted to let time pass, a little time pass and everything like that. So, rest in peace to those kids and everything like that, and condolences to the parents and to the families. With that said, here's a CNN article that I found about the ongoing investigation, and this one is the CNN review of video shows Uvalde school chief in central role during the unfolding massacre. So I'm gonna play this video for y'all and give my opinion throughout and everything like that, and that's how this is gonna go.
Embattled School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo has said that he did not consider himself incident commander on the day of the Uvalde school shooting.
Go, go, go!
But this body cam footage from a Uvalde Police Department sergeant obtained by CNN
I know.
indicates he was at the center of the police response that day, giving orders, conveying and receiving information, with officers appearing to defer to him throughout the 77-minute standoff.
Wait, Chief's in charge right now. Hold on.
Whether he calls himself incident commander or chief, they defer to him. He's the ranking officer. He is in charge.
It's just before 11:37 a.m. Body camera footage shows Arredondo as one of the officers first at the scene.
Look, he already there. See, he there. It's probably why I didn't even want to do this video, but I guess it needed to be done. You have officers that are in the school building with the shooter, right? Officers that are in the building with the shooter. And you have the police chief or the school chief is right there, who's saying he's not the incident commander, but he is obviously in the school building giving orders, directing personnel, everything like that, right? Let's go ahead, continue.
After retreating from the attacker's gunfire, he appears to remain down the hall from the classroom door where the shooter was barricaded.
Take cover, guys.
According to Bill Francis, who worked for the FBI's hostage rescue team for 17 years, this is the moment Arredondo effectively becomes the incident commander.
It was his men that were in the hallway until he...
Well, maybe a commercial. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, you saw that first minute of footage right there, and it makes your blood boil, because there's a kids... It's an elementary school, and you had this piece of crap dude who is in there. Hold on.
is relieved of that responsibility.
And you had this guy, this active shooter, who they have already, from my knowledge, they had already had an encounter with earlier in the day with him shooting at police officers. So they know he's dangerous. They know he's willing to shoot at cops. They know all of this stuff. Now, granted, you could give the benefit of the doubt and say, well, you didn't think that that someone would go in and shoot up an elementary school and kill a bunch of elementary kids, just, kill kids. But then you have the Sandy Hook shooting. So, but again, I can understand it if you're not thinking that, all right, yes, it may be an active shooter, but he's surely not going to be evil enough to shoot at kids. Well, he was. And the fact that you had officers, you have him outnumbered. Two, it doesn't appear that he was taking hostages. So, as that's sad to say, but you have officers in the building with your long guns, with your rifles, and you don't go in and take them. And I get it. You might be scared. I get it. But this is also the job that you signed up for. This is what you trained for. They have school shooting trainings. I don't know the official name of it, but they have all of these trainings that they trained for. And to my knowledge, they trained for a school shooting maybe a month or so before this happened. Now I get it. You never know what you're gonna do, what you're gonna be like in these kind of situations. And as you can see, you had officers who wanted to go in, you had officers who were just standing around taking orders, and the resulting tragedy happened. And that's the sad part about it. These kids deserve better. This community deserves better. I'm gonna give after this video, I'm gonna give my analysis, in my opinion, about the Uvalde Police Department.
He remains the incident commander.
Arredondo told investigators in a state report that was issued in July that he did not consider himself incident commander despite his department's policy, and that instead he responded as an officer. Moments later, the sergeant leaves Arredondo in the hallway, retreating to outside the building as other officers arrive.
Fatal funnel. We have officers on the inside.
At about 11:51 a.m., the sergeant refers to Arredondo.
Wait, Chief is in there. Chief's in charge right now. Hold on. But Chief is making contact with him, right?
No one's made contact with him.
In 2020, Arredondo designated himself as the incident commander in the school district's active shooter response. But on that day, as time ticked by and more law enforcement arrived, it became clear that momentum stalled.
Chief, there's no way to get in that classroom? I can bust the window. I don't know if it's... What? Cover me. Okay.
The next time we see Arredondo from this sergeant's perspective, it's about 12:11 p.m.
I know. I don't know if there was two shooters or not.
He appears to be on the phone, giving orders. Arredondo has since said he didn't bring his radio inside. He was fumbling with them when he arrived, so he left them outside knowing that a sergeant had his radio with them. He reportedly asked for a radio at 11:40, but that never appeared to happen.
The radio for the incident commander is actually his most important piece of gear. It's more important than his weapon, his body armor. Without that radio, he's already handicapped himself.
I mean, he's absolutely correct. Communication is very key in situations like that. I've never been a law enforcement officer. I've never worked as a police officer, nothing like that. But I have worked security in the past, and I have been in certain situations where communication is key. And I mean, you just see those guys standing around, to see those officers standing around, it does, it makes you wonder. And to see him, he's on his phone, which is, I get it. You let your radio and everything like that, and he's trying to communicate. Tell these guys to go in there. At this point, the shooter has already killed kids. At this point, he's already shot, I don't know how many kids, but he's already killed. Go in there and just take them out. You go in there and take them out. Plain and simple. At this point, you cannot afford to keep waiting. You really can't. You cannot afford to keep waiting, because he will continue to take out more kids or teachers. And, that's the sad part. That ended up happening.
Later, Arredondo can be heard directing a sniper and directing backup into the hallway.
Careful, Chief. Here, I'll run behind you. Come on. Cover that room. Cover this one. Shh. Watch out, Chief. Just clear that fatal funnel.
Tell them to wait.
Don't shoot.
No one comes in. Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
On the side. You're gonna walk in for me.
Okay.
He tries unsuccessfully to open a different classroom door, but the keys provided appear not to work.
It's okay, Chief.
He chooses to place himself immediately outside the crisis site in the hallway. And he actually is really in the mix.
How about this, guys? Break this window and get these kids
Yeah, you see he's taking charge.
Negotiating 1 minute.
Mr. Ramos, can you hear us? Mr. Ramos? Please respond.
And all the while trying to give instructions to other officers.
Team ready to go? We're good. I've had it. Hey guys, vortex on that side. They're going to breach in just a minute. We're going to get some door. We're going to get a door jammer real quick. Okay. What they consider popping into the window.
What he needed to do was step back and be able to assess the situation and direct other officers as to what to do. And primarily what they needed to do was reestablish momentum, get in that classroom, and eliminate the threat.
Thank you.
At 12:50 p.m., 74 minutes after Arredondo arrived in the hallway, law enforcement breached the classroom door where the shooter was located. They shoot and kill the suspect. We do not have video of that moment. 19 children and 2 educators were killed that day. Arredondo has been placed on unpaid leave. The Uvalde school superintendent has called for him to be fired. He stepped down from Uvalde City Council in early July. He has not spoken publicly in detail about his actions that day, and his lawyers have not responded to CNN's request for comment.
Yep. That's what happened. When you have bad leadership, tragedy happens. That's bad leadership, and a lot of those officers should be fired. A lot of them, definitely the police chief, handled all kind of wrong. You had 19 kids get killed, 2 teachers died. Now you can't walk away from this, and you're saying that you're scared. You're saying that you're scared. Yeah, we understand, but this is the job that you signed up for. So, my opinion: fire the police chief. Fire all those officers that were there. Get better training for these officers. For schools. You don't need to arm the teachers. You just need to get more police, more security, more armed security, making a visible presence that this school is being protected. You can get military, ex-military, people who are still able, mentally and physically able to do the job, that are capable. You can get other police officers. You can get armed security. You can get all of these different aspects of law enforcement and security, and protect these schools and protect these kids. But it's all about how bad do you really want to, and how much money are you actually willing to spend. When it comes to children, money should be no object when it comes to protecting kids, because they are the future. But heck, you see in these very priced private schools, they have security. You don't see the elite letting their kids, go unprotected. They have armed security around them all the time. Even, you have the mayor of Chicago. A lot of these people have armed security, whether they're police or private security. They're armed. And an active shooter or someone who wants to commit harm to individuals will always go to places that do not have guns or don't have armed patrons or armed security there. Hence, schools are gun-free zones. Movie theaters, malls. See a pattern? So I'm not saying that every citizen should own a gun, but I am saying that you have to take security serious. And the fact that this school, I don't think most schools take security serious at all. That's just my opinion. I just don't think that they take security serious. Because if you actually cared about the kids, then you would. You would take you're already taxing the parents. You're taxing the community. Where's that money going to? besides education, your other number one priority should be the security of the school, the security of the people within the school, the children, the teachers, administrators, all of that. You have to actually care. But my opinion is they don't care enough to do anything about it. So we'll see going forward how this will be. But in this Uvalde shooting is a tragedy. I believe it was a Border Patrol agent who was actually getting a haircut and heard what was going on and went in there and tried to kill the guy. So you had all those officers there, didn't do jack squat, fire them. You had officers holding the parents back, fire them. Because I would, if those were my kids, nah, I'm sorry. You have to shoot me in the back, something. But I mean, I get it. The parents trusted the school. The parents trusted the police, and they failed them. They all failed them. And then we have to look at the actual. Oops. We have to look at the actual shooter, right? How did he get all of those guns, ammunition, all of that? Where did he get the money from? Questions need to be answered. Hopefully there's a very thorough investigation, and like I said, the people that were involved need to be fired. My personal opinion, they need to be fired. Better training. You need to have, again, I think one way to fix this whole school shootings, you have to beef up security. You know, beef up security. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I know this might be a quick one. I didn't, there's nothing really much to say. That this is just a tragedy. And my condolences go out to all the parents and the families. And again, accountability needs to be held. And this is why I've also preached that, yes, the police are there to uphold the law and this and that, but don't rely on the police. Rely on yourself. Defend yourselves, because if the police are not going to be there, I mean, look at the whole defund the police movement, right? Let's say if they actually accomplish their goal of defunding the police, making the police a non-factor. Well, let's say they make the police a non-factor. Well, then what's that buffer zone between you and the real criminals, right? How would you defend yourself then? I mean, this is the United States. We have the Second Amendment. Use it. Get armed, train yourself, get educated when it comes to guns, and protect yourself. Well, I mean, it's you cannot rely on the government to protect you. You shouldn't. You really shouldn't. And you should only rely on yourself at the end of the day. Take your own life in your hands, right? Take the responsibility. Don't leave the responsibility up to anyone else, because it can end badly, just like it was today. Now, granted, it was at school. It was at a school, so no one thought that this would happen in school. But still, take responsibility for yourself and your family. Protect yourselves. And, like I said, with that, y'all have a good day. This has been another episode of the Honest Texan Podcast. Like my hat. Peace out.